Hello Libra, welcome to this reading. We're going to be taking a look at the energy and predictions for the sign of Libra for the rest of April. Now, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Libra, let's go ahead and see what we have coming forward for you here in this mid-month update for the month of April. Do hope you're doing well. Hope things are going good for you. Hope your April has been a good one, Libra. We'll go ahead and get all the cards out, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. Okay. And I think that's looking just about good enough to me for right now. All right, Libra. Energy on the bottom. You have the Temperance card. So the Temperance card is potentially speaking to, first it's Sagittarius energy, so it's possible that some of you, especially with the Queen and the Page of Wands, have maybe a fire sign in your life, or maybe you have a rising sign or a moon sign, something like that here. But the Temperance card, it talks about patience, balance, and moderation. Okay, and the key word for you in throughout the rest of this month is going to be balance, not just because of the Temperance card, but because of the Justice card as well, which you have in your reading. The Temperance card can also represent like elimination as well. So like you could think of the idea of like decluttering, or potentially removing something toxic from your diet or removing something toxic from your life. This is a card that speaks to good health in the tarot, and so we can talk about like like eliminating something. This is healthy and positive elimination, by the way. What is the other term? You could also think of like minimalism as well with the Temperance card. But on a different level, this could also be around manifestation. Let's go ahead and try to get a message here for you based on the cards that we've pulled. So I see that there's definitely a love situation here that is maybe developing for you, or I think it's probably been developing for you, Libra, over the past couple months, I would say. At least 1 month is what I'm feeling here intuitively. And this may come to a head between now and the end of April, and also I would say into May, as well as the events that happen here between now and the end of April can really bleed into the next month for sure. But there's definitely a love situation developing here. There's also some career opportunities on the board. So why don't we go ahead and just dive in. So in the overall message here, we do have the Justice cards. You have Justice and Temperance to start off this reading. This is your energy, Libra. Okay, this is the Libra card in the tarot. And the Justice card can talk about striking a balance in some area of your life, and coming to a fair conclusion or a fair resolution as well, by the way. But really, the fact that it's your energy here in the middle is pretty poignant from my perspective, okay? Because basically the events this month everything's going to be revolving around you. As you see, the middle card here, it touches every single card, right? The other cards revolve around the middle card. So it's almost like you have an important maybe decision to make, as you have a page here as well. What I would say, though, also about the Justice card is it is our karma in life. And really, karma is just about our actions. Karma is neither good nor bad. It just is what it is. It's just the accumulation or the result of our actions. And so some of you may be getting some results around a past situation or scenario here. Maybe you did something at the beginning of the month or earlier in March that's now sort of coming back in here, and you're seeing the result of some step you took or some action that you took here as well. In the first column, you have the Eight of Cups, the Page of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Some of you are thinking about walking away from someone, or you're thinking about walking away from a career situation, in order to investigate a new opportunity. It feels like in your mind there is some sort of it's sort of like greener pastures, I think is the phrase. It's almost like you feel like there's something better on the horizon, which there might be. Okay, there definitely could be, as you have some nice messages here in the cards, but you're not exactly making this decision here in April, it seems. Rather, what you're doing is you're thinking about walking away. Okay, this upper row is the row of your thoughts, and so this is something that you are heavily considering. Even when you look at the justice card, it's like balancing something else, like weighing, right? The idea of the scales weighing option A, option B, weighing a decision here. And you're maybe even like sort of thinking of like theory crafting, like, okay, what if I do walk away, X, Y, and Z happens, or if I don't walk away, X, Y, and Z happens. Maybe it's like this is classic. I'm a Libra, right? I have multiple Libra placements. Like this is classic Libra stuff. Like you're weighing all of the options here. You kind of see all of the options in front of you, okay, and you're kind of balancing it out here. You're kind of making pros and cons. What's interesting though is as Libra is an air sign, for some of you does involve a relationship, as you see the Ace of Cups here. And the thing about that is like love is not always a logical situation, and air signs are all about logic and intellect. It's a little bit more nuanced than that, but it's almost like sometimes we can't attach that to our love scenario, but sometimes it is required as well. So it's almost like if you're walking away, there's this feeling of, okay, I'll start something new, or maybe there's somebody else in the picture as well. Who knows? But you do have a page, which is an offer and opportunity for excitement, passion, pleasure, but also in relationships, but also in work. It can be a job offer or opportunity that's being made, or an opportunity to start a business. There's this new love scenario here that's sort of interesting to me because um, you're not exactly making the decision yet, but what you can't see is that there is this new love situation. And by the way, this could be um, maybe, how do I say this? Sort of, if you are in a current relationship, this can indicate you maybe reaffirming the love that you have, or reaffirming the relationship that you have, right? So like renewing the current relationship that you have, finding new ways to enjoy the relationship. This could also be the case, but it's also possible that some of you are walking away from this person. It's also possible that you're walking away from a job. So I think there are kind of two opportunities here, or two timelines here on this reading, depending on where you are right now. And the name of the game here, the key word here is balance for you. Okay, moderation. With the Justice card and the Temperance, it's almost like you're aware that right now is not the right time to make this decision, but it's cooking. It's cooking in the back of your mind. It's simmering. In the middle column, you have the Three of Swords, the Justice card, and the Five of Pentacles. Here we go again, right? So you're this upper row, the row of your thoughts, you're really thinking about separation from something, either from the job that you're in, the career that you're in, or the relationship that you're in, or both. You're thinking about separation here at this time, separation and walking away. The thing that I like about the Eight of Cups is this person's, in theory, walking towards a greater timeline, right? They're walking towards the Nine of Cups, which is all about happiness. And I don't think that, I don't really see any action here, at least in the first two columns. The final column, there is some action for sure, but it's almost like this is something that's just sort of out there, right? It's simmering, it's cooking in your mind. You're thinking about it, okay? And I think it's okay to make sure that you have all the facts and gather all the data before you make this decision. Maybe it feels like a huge decision that you have to make, and it might be. It might be with the cards on the table here. So you then have the Five of Pentacles below in the bottom row. So while the upper row is the row of your thoughts, the lower row here is what you don't see, or your subconscious, or how you speak to yourself. What's maybe hidden from you. And the Five of Pentacles here, there's something about like, typically when I see the Five of Pentacles in the lower row, it's typically not around financial loss. It's more so around the way that you're speaking to yourself, right? So, this can talk about like poverty mindset or speaking to yourself or something in your subconscious, maybe from a long time ago, being closer to the scarcity side of things instead of the prosperity and abundance side of things. So maybe some of you have this like, oh, well, if I leave this job, then I'll never get a new one, right? Like just as an example, like if I leave this job, there will never be another opportunity. Or if I leave this person, I'll be single forever. Something like this. This, I think, maybe is showing up here. In the final column, you have the Strength card, the Queen of Wands, and the Star card. So definitely some action here in the final column. I do think that you will make a decision. I'm not entirely convinced, and I'm not entirely sure that this will happen by the end of April. For some of you, it could, but this may well be a period of time where you're really, really giving thought to something, okay? And you're balancing and you're weighing all the options here. The Strength card, though, it does say be brave, be bold, and take action. And the Queen of Wands is a card in the tarot that speaks about somebody who is very capable of acting and being brave as well. It's possible that there's a fire sign, so this could be Aries, Sagittarius, Leo in your life or connected to the scenario, or you could have fire energy here as well. The Queen of Wands is also a very busy person. Okay, they're the life of the party. They're somebody who always wants, everybody wants to hang out with the Queen of Wands. But it's also a sign that you could be busy here towards the end of the month. Finally, the Star is Aquarius energy, but the Star is about healing as well. So you've got these energies here around your health scenario with the Temperance and the Star showing up. Potentially turning around if you have an ailment or something. The cards may suggest that you connect to the right doctor or the right medicine, whatever it may be. The Star is also, though, about manifestation and wish fulfillment as well. A wish coming in or a wish coming true. So while right now it feels like maybe a gargantuan task, you're thinking like mentally, of course, like, oh, XYZ will happen if I do this, or if I do that, XYZ will happen. Like right now it feels like a big task, but the cards are saying here, as probably towards the end of the month, maybe into May, you're going to come to a resolution around this situation with the Star, the Queen of Wands, and the Strength card. So why don't we go ahead and start to clarify this even more? We'll go ahead and start by pulling some Oracle cards here and see what comes forward in the Oracle messages for you, Libra. All right. Energy on the bottom, Heart Guardian. Love and let yourself be loved. Okay, I think there's definitely a decision in relationships for some Libras here at this time. And maybe like asking yourself, is your heart really in this situation, whether it's in the relationship or in the job? Are you really enjoying what you're doing? Is your heart really in it, or is it just a paycheck type deal? Some of you may be thinking about that. You have Oracle, wait for important information, as well as Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. Well, as you see this wait for important information again, I very firmly and strongly believe that there's not a lot of action happening here, okay? I definitely think that this is not a time where you're going to be making this decision, but you're rather thinking about this decision a lot. The action might happen in May for you, but you're really calculating everything here. And the core message here is you already know the outcome, but there may be just something in the thought process, like the data processing may just, the way that you're processing the data, the information may just be a little off or something like that. There may be too much data, all right? Because at the end of the day, you already know. Hopefully that makes sense, what I'm saying there. You then have Direction Guardian, choose your path, as well as Arrow. Surround yourself with protective energy. So if you have an iffy feeling about something, if you're not feeling totally secure, let's say in a relationship or in a job or in a friendship potentially, or in some other type of relationship, family, friendship, whatever it is, with this surround yourself with protective energy, the card's saying like, do what you need to do to put yourself forward here, right? All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at clarifying this reading even more. We'll pull some additional tarot cards here. Now, Libra, once again, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you spending your time with me. Do hope you're doing well. And we'll go ahead and pull some additional cards. All right. So you have the Seven of Cups. Oh my gosh. The Four of Wands and the Page of Swords. Yeah, I say oh my gosh because you're overwhelmed with this decision that you have to make. You are so overwhelmed. You really see all of the different potentials here, the potentiality here, in this scenario, in this situation, whether it's, and for some of you, this may be both work and love that is sort of like in the forefront right now. Okay, you may be juggling multiple things here with that Seven of Cups and this idea of like really thinking about what do I do? Choice A, choice B, door A, door B. Which one is it, right? Because the Seven of Cups, you can see all of the choices and options in each cup here. And this person's very overwhelmed by the decision that they have to make. What cup do they choose? And I think that some of you are maybe thinking about this. You then have the Four of Wands, which is a card of, it is a card of marriage, interestingly enough. One of the major indicators of marriage in the tarot. There may be a conversation in the relationship sector of your life around, if you're not married, what does this look like for us, right? Like, are we going to take this to the next level? We've been dating for how many years or how many months or whatever it is. What's next? This may be on the table here as you have the Page of Wands indicating an offer, a conversation, an opportunity. In the workplace, though, this is also very solid. This is solid because, well, the Four of Wands indicates solidity, right? It indicates like stable ground, and something that is, it's a four, right? So four is all about stability, right? So in work, this can indicate that you maybe have an opportunity here to, yeah, settle into a stable option or a career. It's also a card of ceremony. It's a positive card, especially with the Page of Wands. Thing is, this Page of Swords can indicate delay or disagreements, maybe. But it is an offer. The Page of Swords does represent an offer, but the thing is, it's not exactly on the timeline that you need or that you are looking for or that you thought. Okay? Yeah. Especially with the Ace of Cups. So, again, with this idea of delay here in the Page of Swords and this idea of like weighing and balancing and thinking, it just feels like, as well as wait for important information, it feels like this action is not happening right now. You have the Queen of Cups, you have the Hierophant, and the Ten of Wands. All right, Ten of Wands is a card of hard work, and something just feels hard right now. Okay, it is hard work in a positive. On the positive end, the Ten of Wands is not just hard work, but it's also completion of a goal or a task. It also says that you're wise, you're full of wisdom, but it can also say that maybe something is hard, something is a little bit of a struggle for you. With the Five of Pentacles here, I have a feeling that it's almost like there was something in your past, like this could have been your childhood or recent past or 5 years ago or whatever it was, something in the past here. Someone said something to you that is still in your subconscious. Okay, this happens all of the time. Like, people who are bullied in adolescence or in childhood, they tuck away the thing that the bully said to them, and then later in life, they are still carrying it with them. And this gets like sort of stuck in their subconscious. And, many things can stem from something that happened when we were young, maybe something that someone said to us or whatever. The example I always give is maybe you had a parent that said money doesn't grow on trees, and now here you are 30, 40, 50 years later in scarcity mindset. So it's almost like something feels very hard, and it's connected to the way that something in your subconscious here connected to money, connected to money, and also the way that you talk to yourself, something like this is showing up here. It's very hard, and I think maybe this is an opportunity to maybe name and tame, right? Maybe name this thing that feels hard for you and work through it. You then have the Hierophant, which is another card of marriage. There's something about marriage here, maybe, for some of you, like really thinking about it with the Justice card. Justice is also a card of legal situation, so marriage is a legal situation. The Hierophant's also the elders. It's also like institutions, so that would be churches, organizations, places of employment. There's a question or a situation around marriage here. You then have the Queen of Cups. This is somebody who's this is a traditional therapist in the tarot. There quite literally just might be a desire to speak to somebody around this decision that you have to make, and that could be maybe beneficial. You have the Hermit, the Four of Cups, and the Fool. The final column here is definitely nice. Your situation turns around. You may come to the conclusion that you need a little bit of alone time, or you need some space to process things. You're maybe craving some alone time here, craving some space with the Hermit and the Strength card, and maybe communicating that to somebody could be helpful. The Four of Cups, it is an energy of boredom. Yeah, that's going to turn around here because of the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is not bored. They're always fun. Like, they're always having fun. They're always being fun. Like, they're the life of the party. They have a high energy. This is turning around here. This person's the opposite, okay? They're just kind of bored. And then you have the Fool, which does represent a new beginning. I do think maybe some of you are going to separate from someone or something. This is a career or a person as well. And then you do have a Tower moment here on the bottom, which can represent an upheaval or a shock or a change, but it releases yourself from something that's not working, something that you feel trapped in, or even a false belief that you may have. The Tower releases you from that. So it's actually quite positive. All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at the Kipper message here and see what's showing up in the Kipper cards. All right, so let me go ahead and see what we have to close out this reading. You have great fortune, marriage, gift, interesting, main male, female, and bad health. All right, so I do see that maybe some Libras have a health situation. Remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm just a tarot reader. So simply what I'm saying is the cards are suggesting that there is some healing on the table here for you, or for a significant person in your life. As you have the bad health, the Star, and the Temperance card. All of these cards can indicate like healing from something. Okay, I would say it's generally positive here because of the Temperance and the Star card. The marriage situation is very, very interesting. Okay, you have 3 signs of marriage here with the Four of Wands, the Hierophant, and the marriage card in the Kipper, as well as great fortune and gift. Okay, so some of you may be finding yourself marrying into a very wealthy family, or I know that's not going to be for everyone, but this could very well be the case where you're marrying into some money or something like this, or the marriage opportunity feels like a gift from God or a gift from the universe or whatever it is. On another level, I do think you're really, really thinking about your money situation. You're like really, really thinking about it at this time, and I don't think action is going to be taken, but you could be strategizing and game planning. This is what I have for you. Thank you so much for being here, Libra. If you enjoyed this message, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.